if there's anybody cynical to believe that a person can't make a difference, that one person can't make a difference, I hope they look at Larry Barrett, because the difference that he's made at the Heather Curling Club, Mapleton, Southern Minnesota, St. Paul, he was ice maker like in the 70s up in St. Paul, is it's hard to calculate. Really, it's just so impressive how far reaching it is. And we focus a lot on youth, which is rightfully so, because he loves teaching curling, and whether it's coaching a competitive team or a junior team, or whether it's after school curling, just being present, Phi Ed curling, all that sort of stuff. It's just um, unbelievable the impact that he's had on our club.
I'll start with what I think I know and then what I do know. What I think I know is that I always remember there were a couple banners in the Heather Curling Club that had like Kevin Johnson's name on it and like Jesse Gates, and then Larry was the coach. So I knew he had done some coaching in competitive curling. So that I always saw those on the wall, along with my uncle's name was up there as a state champion. And I knew he knew his stuff, right? And so I admired that. And of course Larry was in the curling club what seemed like 24/7. So I would go to after school curling on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Take the bus with dropped off a block away, and he was always there. And when I was younger, him and his wife Carrie and Alicia would always be there too. So he was always volunteering, always in the green hat, like I typed out to you in the message. And then he would pick up kids that uh, wanted to put the time in, and he would bring them on a team for league. And so I probably played with him in league when I was low teens, I would say. Um, and so yeah, he always just takes kids under his arms and helps them, learn the game, and obviously uh, the school program, right? The Phi Ed program, spending a week or two there for the fall semester, and then a week or two in the spring semester. Like, who else has that time commitment to do that? So I think that's a really great thing, just introducing kids to the sport.
Ever humble, Larry Barrett explained his role with the Heather Curling Club in Mapleton.
I'm not on the board, but I go to board meetings. It's trying to keep the club alive. If there's a hole or a vacancy, uh, I try to get involved, and I give my input to trying to figure out how we can make it better.
Barrett also explained some of his many duties.
Self-appointed duties. If there's bounce fields coming up, I usually talk to who's in charge to see if how their numbers are. I hate having odd numbered teams at the beginning of a bounce field, and many times I'll just put a team together. If that helps not make it odd, so be it. That that helps the timing. It makes things smoother.
And the amount of time that he spends at the club?
Don't ask my wife. Uh, During the season, I'm probably here most days. It doesn't mean I'm here every day. I get kids from school think I work or run the curling club. No, I'm here helping. And my my daughter calls this the White House. And when she was in school, mom would ask, she would ask Mom, "Where's Dad?" And Mom would say, "At the White House." Well, then she knew I was up here.
For decades, Barrett has promoted curling to many local schools.
I'll volunteer to take on most anybody for a length of time, and I've ranged anywhere from enough players to play a game. A couple times I've boosted up to 60 and even 90 kids in a session, and then you have to get creative about having activities for kids to do when they're not on the ice. So we had a group of kids in the basement, a group of kids upstairs, and then 30 odd kids on the ice, which works fine. And about every half an hour, 45 minutes, you change position and rotate. Lunch is important. Anything to make it work.
His reaction from kids first experiencing curling?
They get eager, and the sound level goes up. So then you know for sure they're probably having a good time.
And why does he give so much of his time?
Maybe the instant response to learning, somebody that has never played, and how quickly you can get them into a game situation or being successful enough to play in a game.
Having grown up around curling, being a volunteer came natural.
So I would have been 4 years old when they built the building, and my dad was on the board, and he was here pretty frequently, being on top of what had to get done. As a kid, I probably started playing when I was 7. Just the frequency of being here, and you watch what your dad did, and he was exceptionally talented or blessed with the ability to ask anybody that had never played before, would you like to try? So that's in me.
So what was Larry's response to winning this award?
It's it's kind of awesome. Openly, I don't have internet, and the day of the award, my son had a telephone, and he says, you might want to see this, and he scrolled, and I read, I was up for Volunteer of the Year award or something, and then below that was the comments from people that had read this, and they're people from St. Paul, they're people from Duluth, Wisconsin, the curling world, and all those people and their friendship all comes back to me.
Finally, I asked all 3 gentlemen about the importance of volunteering.
Just this building was built by largely volunteer help, and if they didn't do that, we probably wouldn't have a nice building. We'd still be curling outside.
Yeah, again, without volunteers, there wouldn't be, I think the club would cease to exist after a certain amount of time. Because like now, a lot of the membership that is active in the Heather Curling Club is people that are my age. So, I think that's important that we build that base as when we have the kids in there with people like Larry volunteering. And I'll say it again, but in summary, without volunteers or Larry, the club might be gone.
The amount of volunteer hours that he's dedicated is just astounding. And I think he comes by it naturally because you can get introduced to curling in a lot of different ways. It might be a friend, it might be through work, it might be watching curling nowadays on the Olympics. But a lot of the people in this area came to know curling because of family members, a parent, and his parents were just like this. I mean, that you don't snap your fingers and the ice is made. It takes work, and you have to be involved in board members and vice president, president. And I was looking at some old minutes, and in the 50s, his dad was president right about when they built the building. And then right about then, they were doing adding artificial ice. So some really big things. And when I was reading the notes, it said they gave Lawrence, so Larry's dad, a standing ovation. That doesn't happen. So I think where a lot of us, we know the work involved, we know the strategy. Our parents taught us to be involved. With Larry, he took that to the next level, where just so many hours dedicated to teaching young people how to curl, teaching adults how to curl, working at the club, and it's just hard to explain the effect that he's had on so many people. This devotion to curling in general, and this devotion to the club is just fantastic.
And that's where I met my wife at the curling club. We had a reception at the curling club. You know, it's part of my life, and that's where all my friends are.